Hello folks, I'm Ed Overstreet with the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel, and I am back outside imaging the sun, and I'll take you there. I need to do a little nudging here because I've moved off the spot, and we want to go south. There we go, we stopped capturing. There we go. Yesterday I imaged the sun, and I'm zoomed in trying to focus better. But there's a huge set of prominences, some coronal mass ejections happening on the rim of the sun, and I am going to image concentrating on this spot, but when I process it I'll bring those proms out, and hopefully we'll have a time lapse of the proms acting up along with some swirling going on in and around the sunspot. But I'm having to babysit the mount and nudge it. Now I need to nudge it north. I just try to keep it as centered as much as I can inside that sunspot, and that helps the alignment process. I know I'm overexposed, but I'm going to crop all of that out on this side. I'm just going to have probably this section right here. I'm overexposing for a reason. I want to be able to bring the prominences out, and if I raise the exposure any at all and darken this, it would be harder to bring out the detail in the prominences in post-processing. But when I overexpose it, I'm able to reveal what's going on here, so pretty cool. As soon as this stops capturing, I'll nudge the mount again. Here we go. And we need to go a little west. Okay. It's kind of hard to move the mounts. They're loaded with backlash, which means that once you depress one of the arrows, it takes a few seconds before the gears engage, and then it gets to going and it wants to continue to go, and it's hard to stop it. So it's a bit of a challenge. Keeps you on your toes. I'm way off, and it's capturing. I can tell it's capturing because down here in the bottom left it says capturing at the rate of 70 frames per second, and it's going to do 1,000 frames and then give me a 15-second window to recenter. Also, because I'm doing a time lapse, I want a little pause between each video. When you're using SharpCap, one of the cool features is that you can select the solar rate right here and track at the solar rate. That's very helpful. I've lost my connection outside, which is fine because it continues to run. I reconnected. I've noticed ever since 2 weeks ago we had a coronal mass ejection, there's been a lot of activity on the sun. Whenever it's been clear, I've been imaging the sun. I'll show you what I mean. Let me see if I can open up a live view of the sun. Okay, this is 4 minutes old right here. And this is what I'm imaging right now. And those are the proms I'm telling you about. This is a 4-minute-old image of the sun. Those are these two sunspots. I'm focusing on this one, and so this section of the sun will be cut out, and I want to see I'll bring out in the dark the prominences, and I'll also be able to see the surface detail in post-processing using a program called IMPPG and doing an inversion, which will invert all of the colors, and that's what not the colors, all of the layers of luminosity, and that's what will bring these proms out. Okay, I've got to go down and east here and south. Whoops, capturing. I try not to move it when we're capturing. The software program called Auto Stacker can align it, and it does anyway, but I just try not to move it. I'll just try to wait until we pause. And I'm having a Wi-Fi issue again. Which is fine. As long as it comes back, it's fine. Well, I'm going to go ahead and shut down my connection and try to reconnect. There we go. Sometimes I just have to reset it. Now we got to do some moving. We got to go. Okay. Let's see what my Wi-Fi signal looks like. I'm just going to change bands. There we go. We'll try 5G channel 1, and I was on 5G channel 2. I don't think there's anything else on that channel, but again, since I've been since the coronal mass ejection headed our way, I've noticed a lot of activity and also a lot of issues with Wi-Fi that I never had before. So go figure. May not have anything to do with it, but something's crazy. Oh, I forgot to change my sound, guys. That should improve things. So far I've taken, I'm going for 300 images. I've taken 248, so we have 52 frames, and if I bring up my, we're on an external solid state drive. We've got 12 there, and 42 here, so 52, we have actually 54 images taken. Well, it actually, yeah, 54. And it will take me, it's about 20 minutes until 10. The sun transits at 12, and I'll have all 300 done by 12 o'clock. So I've been doing this since a little before 9. So it's about 3 hours of sitting here babysitting this mount. A lot of work goes into a time lapse when you don't have a high precision mount, but I can't afford a high precision mount. But I can afford to sit here and nudge it. And nudge it's what I'll do. And I'm going to go down to 13 seconds. It darkened it a little bit. Again, you're looking at the sun live. Let me see, I don't have the comments up. Hang on a minute, I'll go find them. Bear with me. Okay, let's go back. I don't want that. Let's go here. Okay. I'm going to pause the video right now. We're at 241. Okay, let's say 240. So when I come back, I'll set this at 240. I'm going to show you the proms. I'm going to raise the gain up to 200, and I'm going to raise this up to 20. And so this is the activity, the crazy looking activity on the sun that I'm chasing too. So let's go back to 13 and 90. And I lost my angle here, so let me move back over. We got to go south. Too far. West. Now we got to go north. West. North. Okay, it's a good time to focus some more too. As it heats up, the telescope itself heats up. I need to move it out a few steps to reacquire focus. Okay, let's before we start this capture, let's move up west to about right there, and then let's go back to capture, start capture, and we want 240 frames because we already have 60. So we're going to start capturing again. is a live view of the sun. Okay. Things are looking pretty good. Things are looking pretty good. I need to nudge it back. Okay, let's go west and south. Our seeing conditions aren't really good, so it makes focusing really a challenge when it's actually, it looks better now and I haven't done anything, but it goes in and out of focus, and I'm sitting here wondering if it is the telescope or is it seeing conditions, and then it's just hard to tell. The sun's a difficult channel to image. So we're live streaming the surface of the sun. We're zeroed in on a sunspot, and we're also capturing some prominence activity on the rim of the sun that you can't see because of the way I'm exposing the sun. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm overexposing the sun. That's why it's all blown out over here on the right. And I'm overexposing it so that when I do post-processing, I'll be able to reveal the activity on the surface that you can't see currently. Let's move the sun north a little bit. And then we're going to do east just a tad. There we go, to get recentered on that spot. If you happen to be watching and you have a question, just write it in the remarks there, the chat section. We're going to have to move south now as soon as it finishes capturing, because we're really drifting in declination. Here we go. We're coming back, and then west, not that far. Okay, We're capturing again at the rate of 1,000 frames per AVI file. Hoping to get 300 AVI files if the clouds will allow it. And we're getting ready to start capturing again. And there we go. It's the capture rate is 77 frames per second. So it doesn't take long to get the 1,000 frames. And then there's a 15-second pause that I've set so that I can recenter if necessary, and it's usually necessary. Went a little bit too far. Now we're capturing again. And it's done. We have 226 left to go, so we've done about 74 so far. And we'll do about 100 an hour. So we'll get finished right before the transit at 12. And when it finishes capture, and we'll nudge it back over to recenter on that sunspot. This is a trick that I use that helps keep my we have ran into the mount will no longer move. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel. Let's see how many we have, because I'm gonna have to reboot the computer. We have 63 here, and then I took 12, so we have 75 so far. I'm gonna go ahead and move these. There where they belong. Okay, so we have 75. That happened because I had to reboot a while ago. So let's go ahead and shut this down. And because of this insanity that I'm going to have to reboot, I'm going to terminate the live stream, and I may come back with you, but probably won't because I'm having these issues. But at any rate, guys, have a wonderful day. I hope it's your best ever, and make sure you say something nice to somebody, and I know they're going to like the fact you did, and you're going to feel better about yourself.